special guest, His Grace Radha Krishna Das and his father Rajasuya Prabhu. They are traveling, they come from India, and they're making a tour of the United States. They've been traveling to every temple in the United States for the last month, and Radha Krishna Prabhu is going to speak on Bhagavan, Nectar of Devotion this evening time. So let's join in welcoming them.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Prabhupada Paramahansa Parivrajakaacharya Varya Ashtottar Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhaya Charana Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajakaacharya Varya Ashtottar Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki. Grantaraj Shri Shri Bhakti Rasam Sindhu Ki, the nectar of devotion evening class ki, Yuga Dharma Shri Harinam Sankirtana ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusle Devi Pranamami Hare Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. At the very onset of present day's discourse, I would like to initially offer my most respectfully prostrated obeisances unto the lotus feet of divine conjugal lordships Shri Shri Radha and Shyam Sundar Dev, along with their eternal divine associates like Shri Lalita Devi, Shri Vishakha Devi, Shri Ruparati Manjari, etc. And along with them, I would also like to submit my most respectfully and submissively prostrated homages unto the lotus feet of their divine lordships, Shri Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Shri Shri Nityananda Prabhu, along with their transcendental divine entourage, such as Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatana Goswami, and all the 6 Goswamis of Shri Dham Vrindavan. Finally, I would also like to offer my obeisances and due respects unto the lotus feet of His Divine Grace, Abhaya Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who has been skillfully propagated the doctrine of Krishna consciousness throughout this world in this present modern era in a most unique and fantastic, unprecedented way. Conclusively, I would also like to offer my obeisances and due respects unto all the senior Vaishnava devotees of the Lord present herein, and thereafter I would now like to commence the context and the proposed topic of our today's discussion, especially the topic concerning the Nectar of Devotion, alias Shri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, compiled by Srila Rupa Goswami Pad. So, as in our yesterday's preceding session, we were focusing on and concentrating on comprehending just a little bit of the unlimited glories of Srila Rupa Goswami, and thereafter we also relished the first verse. We also relished the phrase, the fragmental phrase of the first verse of Shri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, compiled by Srila Rupa Goswami as an invocation to the unprecedented British. So, the supreme benefactor of all the pure devotees of the personality of Godhead Shri Krishna, who is Srila Rupa Goswami, he has, for the sole well-being and progress of the devotees who are traversing on the path of pure devotion, for their sole benefit, he has composed this divine literature. And this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, or the nectarian, the ocean of the nectarian juicy mellows of devotional service, this book has emanated from the treasure house of the lotus of Rupa Goswami's heart. And through the inspiration and mercy and blessings of not only Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but all of his divine associates, Srila Rupa Goswami has been able to compile this divine literature. So in the very beginning, in the invocation, in the Mangalacharan part of this literature, Srila Rupa Goswami Pada says, praying unto his Ishtadev, praying unto his worshipable chosen deity, that is Shri Krishna of Vrindavan, he prays unto him thus. Akhila rasamrita murtihi prasrimara ruchiruddhataraka palihi kalita shyama lalita radha prayan vidhur jayati. Rupa Goswami says that let there be, this is the literal translation of this verse, let there be all glory unto the personality of Godhead, par excellence, the absolute truth, the summum bonum, Shri Krishna Chandra, who is endowed with all opulences and all divine excellence, and who is omnipotent and omnipresent, and that Shri Krishna who has captivated, who has enchanted, who has attracted, and has subdued, and thus has made subordinate the groups of gopis like the Tarka Paksh and the Pali Paksh. Akhila Rasamrita Murti Prasrimana Ruchirata Tarka Pali. This Shri Krishna, who is the transcendental paramount felicity or bliss personified, and that transcendental bliss, which is paramount above the three modes of mundane nature, is characterized as the 12 rasas. That transcendental bliss is characterized as 12 rasas. It appears in the forms of 12 different rasas. And as we discussed yesterday, the 12 rasas are Shantadasya Sakhya Vatsalya Madhura Rasa Nama Krishna Bhakti Rasa Madhye E Pancha Pradhana Hasya Adbhuta Veera Karuna Raudra Vibhatsa Bhaya Panchavida Bhakti Gauna Sapta Rasa Haya. It has been proclaimed and substantiated by Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during that when he was imparting his divine sermons and precepts unto Sri Rupa Goswami at the conjunction of the trinity of the sacred rivers Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati, back then 5 centuries, back then in the Prayagraj or the holy sacred place of Prayag. At that time when he was imparting his sermons on the Dashashwamedh Ghat of Prayag, at that time Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has spoken these two verses to Rupa Goswami, and later on Srila Rupa Goswami, while he expanded the instructions that he had heard from Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's divine lotus mouth, he has thus compiled Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, or the Nectar of Devotion. So these seven secondary rasas and the 12 and the 5 primary rasas, total they combine up to the 12 rasas. Total they combine and become the 12 rasas. Among which the 7 are secondary and the 5 are primary. So these are the 12 divine rasas, or the juicy mellows, which Shri Krishna is personified form of, and which Shri Krishna is the embodiment of. That is why Sri Rupa Goswami uses purposefully the word Akhila Rasamrita Murti in the very first phrase of the very first verse of the Nectar of Devotion. So Krishna is the personified form of all these 12 rasas. Now, how is Shri Krishna the personified form of these 12 rasas? Because Shri Krishna is Rasa-swarupa. That is why he is known as Rasa-swarupa. And Shrimati Radhika, the daughter of Rishabhanu, is known as Mahabhav-swarupa. Because Shrimati Radhika is the personified form of the Madanakhya Mahabhav, which is a special type of love that she has for Shri Krishna. And Shri Krishna, on the other hand, is the embodiment of all these 12 types of rasas. Now, where in the Shastra it is proven, or that it has been proved, where in the scriptures, where in the Vedic literatures, where in the Shastras, where in the authorized bona fide literatures it has been confirmed that Shri Krishna is the embodiment of all these 12 rasas. I mean to say that when these 12 rasas appear in that personified form, in that personal form, then they are none other than the Shri Krishna of Vrindavan. So it has been substantiated in the 17th verse of the 43rd chapter of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, when Srila Shukadeva Goswami, he is describing, he is narrating the pastime of killing Kamsa. So, as a prelude to that pastime, as prelude to Kamsa Vadh, as prelude to the pastime when Shri Krishna kills the Kans and when he enters in the arena, in the wrestling arena of Mathura, the Rangabhumi, the wrestling arena of Mathura, at that time, the different people and the different participants who have assembled there in the wrestling arena of Mathura, and who have assembled and participated in that arena solely for the purpose of watching that scene. So among these participants, there are many different types of people. There are 12 different types of people among the participants, and because of the 12 different mentalities that the participants of the wrestling arena have, Shri Krishna appears. Shri Krishna is visible. Shri Krishna is literally, apparently, physically visible to these 12 different types of people in 12 different forms. So it has been described by Srila Shukadeva Goswami, Mallanam Mashalirindrinam Naravaro Strinam Smaro Murtima Gopalam svajano satam kshitibhujam Shasta svapitraho shishuho Mrityurbhoja pater virada vidusham Tattvam param yoginam Vrishninam paradevati vidito Rangam gataha sagrajaha. Shukdev Goswami is saying to Parikshit, O king, when Shri Krishna enters, or when Shri Krishna has entered the aforementioned wrestling arena of Kansa, along with his elder brother Sagrajaha, along with his elder brother Balram, and how have they entered? Both Shri Krishna and Balram, after killing the Kumalyapid elephant, who was intoxicated and who was intoxicated and who was made actually kill Shri Krishna and Balram by making him drink all these intoxicating ingredients by the servants of Kansa. So after killing that Kumalyapid elephant and after eradicating and uprooting the tusks of that Kumalyapid elephant, the two tusks of that Kumalyapid elephant, Shri Krishna took one tusk in his hand and Shri Balram took another tusk in his hand. So both Shri Krishna and Balram, they held both the tusks on their shoulders. So after that they have held their tusks on their shoulders, they are entering the wrestling arena. This is the prelude to the scene. And when Shri Krishna has entered the wrestling arena in such a way, the wrestlers whose sole ambition was to kill Krishna and Balram by challenging Krishna and Balram in the duel race, in the wrestling. Those wrestlers who were inimical, who were jealous, full of malicious desire, and full of injuring and hurting, and after all killing Krishna and Balram, and who were part of plan of Kans. These wrestlers, they were part of the plan of Kans. The Kansa's plan, the Kansa's evil plot was quite complicated. As the first step to kill Krishna and Balram, Kansa had organized and had put that Kumalyapid elephant. But if suppose Krishna and Balram would succeed in killing that Kumalyapid elephant, then the second way of killing Krishna and Balram that Kansa and his ministers had proposed was to organize a group of wrestlers who would challenge Krishna and Balram and thereby who would kill them. And if still Krishna and Balram will succeed, or should they succeed, then they had many other plans. So these wrestlers headed by Chanur, Mushtik, Shal, Toshal, etc., these 8 wrestlers, they were assigned the duty to kill Krishna and Balram by challenging them in the duel race. So when these wrestlers, they have seen Shri Krishna entering, they have not seen Shri Krishna of the 16 years of adolescent age. At that time, Shri Krishna's actual age was only 11 years and 52 days. But as our acharyas have mentioned, especially Srila Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti in their commentaries to Srimad Bhagavatam, Shri Krishna, although he was of 11 years and 52 years of age, still his physical outlook resembled exactly that of a 16 years of adolescent young boy. So Shri Krishna, who was apparently appearing as resembling the 16 years old adolescent boy, that Shri Krishna was not seen rather as a 16-year-old adolescent boy, but that Shri Krishna was visible to these wrestlers. That Shri Krishna was visible to these wrestlers as the divine thunderbolt weapon that Lord Indra is holding for killing the demons. So the Indra, who is the chief of the 33 million demigods of heaven or paradise, that Indra Deva has a special weapon in his hand, which is made by using the bones of Dadhichi Rishi. And this incident has also been mentioned there in the beginning of the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this divine weapon that Lord Indra of heaven possesses, known as Vajra or thunderbolt, this divine weapon has 100 thorns inside, and using this divine weapon, Indra had killed, back there in the Satya Yuga, he had killed a demon known as Vritrasura. So this thunderbolt weapon, which Sri Krishna considers to be his opulence in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, when Sri Krishna counts his different opulences found within this material world in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita known as Vibhuti Yoga, at that time Sri Krishna considers this divine Vajra weapon or the thunderbolt weapon that Indra holds as one of his opulences. So Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita, Ayudhanam asmi Vajraha. Ayudhanam asmi Vajraha. Among all the different celestial weapons, I am represented by the divine thunderbolt Vajra weapon of Indra. So this Krishna appeared not resembling the thunderbolt weapon, but Sri Krishna rather appeared as having limbs as solid and ferocious as the thunderbolt weapon. Sri Krishna, who was of 16 years of adolescent age and who was of tender limbs at that time, that Sri Krishna possessing tender limbs and soft and tender limbs was not seen as possessing soft and tender limbs by these wrestlers. Rather, these wrestlers, they saw a completely different form of Sri Krishna. They didn't perceive that Sri Krishna was an adolescent boy possessing the tender limbs. Rather, they saw, instead of Sri Krishna, they saw a mighty armed wrestler who was having limbs as solid and as ferocious as the thunderbolt weapon of Indra. So this is how Sri Krishna has made himself appear in front of these wrestlers who were inimical to him. So by this example, what is actually Srila Shukadeva Goswami trying to prove? He is trying to prove that because Sri Krishna is the Veer Rasa personified, and Veer Rasa or the transcendental mellow of heroism and chivalry, this Veer Rasa is one of these 7 secondary mellows. And because Krishna is the personification of all the 12 mellows, so he must be personification of also the mellow of chivalry, because chivalry is one of the 12 mellows. So Sri Krishna, since he is the personification of Veer Rasa or the transcendental mellow of chivalry, that is why he appears as having the limbs as solid and ferocious as the transcendental thunderbolt weapon of Indra. That means that Sri Krishna is personified form of Veer Rasa. This is proven by that. And then the second form, the second way that Sri Krishna has been perceived by the participants is being described by Shukadeva Goswami in the further part of the verse. Mallanam ashalir nrinam naravaraha. The common men of Mathura, the common regular citizens of Mathura who were assembled there in the arena, they rather saw Sri Krishna as the crest jewel of the whole humanity. As the crest jewel of all human beings, they have perceived Sri Krishna. What does it mean? Just like when the common people of this world, when they perceive face to face, physically when they perceive some very famous celebrity or some very famous person who is very powerful, either politically speaking or in some other way, right? in the matter of riches or opulence, if the common people of this world are perceiving a person who is the most wealthiest, or they are able to see the person who is the most powerful and physically strong, or they are able to see a person who is very much politically powerful, or they are able to see a person who is very much renowned and famous throughout the world, then the people, the common people, they are enchanted by the mood of amazement and wonder. They are enchanted by seeing such a famous personality, by seeing such a great and powerful personality and celebrity. The common people are rather enchanted by the mood of amazement and wonder. And this mood of amazement and wonder is rather known as the transcendental mellow of wonder, known as Adbhuta Ras, which is still one of these 7 secondary mellows. So, by saying that Sri Krishna appeared as the crest jewel of all human beings in front of the common citizens of Mathura, that means that Sri Krishna is the personified form of Adbhuta Rasa, or the transcendental mood of wonder, the transcendental mellow of wonder. And then Sri Krishna appears still in the third form, Strinam Smaraha Murtiman. Strinam Smaraha Murtiman. To the ladies, to the young ladies and women of Mathura who were assembled there in the arena, Sri Krishna appeared as the personified form of Kamadev, as the personified form of Cupid. So by saying that Sri Krishna appeared as the personified form of Cupid, Shukdev Goswami is trying to prove that Sri Krishna is the personified form of Shringar Ras, or the transcendental mellow of conjugal love, which is one of the 5 primary mellows. And now one can question here that Sri Krishna remained exactly as he was. That means that Sri Krishna remained in the same form that had come from Mathura. When Sri Krishna had come, that had come from Vrindavan. When Sri Krishna arrived from Vrindavan, upon being called by Akrura, upon being escorted by Akrura, at that time the form that he was possessing, his original form, Sri Krishna has actually remained in his original form only due to illusion. Only due to illusion, or the spell of Yogamaya and Mahamaya potencies, the participants of 12 different mentalities, the participants of the wrestling match possessing 12 different mentalities, they have seen Sri Krishna in 12 different forms because of some type of mesmerizing, and because of some type of illusion, and because of being enchanted by the spell of Yogamaya. One can present this argument. One can put forth this argument and this doubt that Sri Krishna, he has actually not transformed his form into these 12 forms, but rather the participants of that wrestling match, they have, upon being enchanted by the spell of illusion, they have seen Sri Krishna appearing in 12 different forms, but Sri Krishna himself has not transformed himself into these 12 different forms. One can put forth this argument, but this argument is rather chopped off, is rather refuted by Srila Shukadeva Goswami when he uses the word Murtiman. Strinam Smaraha Murtiman. Shukadeva Goswami says that not that due to the illusion of Yogamaya and Mahamaya, these 12 different people consisting of 12 different mentalities have been able to see Sri Krishna in 12 different ways. It's not like that. Actually, Sri Krishna's transcendental form has simultaneously transformed itself into these 12 different forms. Actually, Sri Krishna has become transformed into these 12 different forms. That is why he uses the word Murtiman. Murtiman means one who is the condensed form of the mellow of conjugal love, Shringar Ras. One who is the condensed form, one who is the personality of the Shringar Ras. Murtiman doesn't mean that just because of some type of illusion he is perceived in such a way. No. He is actually the condensed personified form of Shringar Ras, and that is why he is appearing as the all-enchanting Cupid in front of the female citizens and the young ladies of Mathurapuri who had assembled there. And then Shri Krishna still appears in a 4th form, that is Gopanam Svajanaha, in front of those cowherd boys of the same age as Shri Krishna, in front of those cowherd boys like Sridham, Subal, Madhumangal, Stoka Krishna, Arjun, Varuthab, etc., who had come with Shri Krishna from Vrindavan. In front of those cowherd boy friends of him, he has appeared as a friend and as a relative. Swajanaha means as a friend and as a relative. So, this means that Shri Krishna is the personified form of Sakhyaras. He is the personified form, he is the complete embodiment of the transcendental mellow of fraternity, Sakhyaras And not only that he is the embodiment of fraternity, he is also the embodiment of the transcendental mellow of humor and laughter. So Hasya is known as the mellow of humor and laughter. And Hasya is one of the 7 secondary mellows, whereas Sakhya or the mellow of fraternity is one of the 5 primary mellows. So Shri Krishna has simultaneously exposed himself, Shri Krishna has simultaneously revealed himself as being the embodiment of both the Sakhya, the mellow of fraternity, and the Hasya, the mellow of laughter and humor, by illuminating himself as the great friend and as relative of these cowherd boy friends who were of his same age. Now one can question that it is easily understood how Shri Krishna can be considered the embodiment of the mood of fraternity Sakhyaras in front of his cowherd boy friends. But it is not understood how Shri Krishna, it is not very easily understood how Shri Krishna can be the embodiment of Hasyaras. Yes, when Sakhyaras prevails, when the Sakhya exists, when the relationship of fraternity exists between two friends, we can see this even in this material world. When a relationship between two friends exists, and when the two friends reciprocate with each other, at that time, not only the mellow of fraternity takes place between them in a mutual way, but also the mellow of laughter and humor takes place. Because when the friends assemble together, sometimes they also joke around. So the mood of laughter and humor also prevails the mood and the relationship of fraternity. That is why when it is said that Shri Krishna appears himself, reveals himself as a great intimate friend of the cowherd boy friends of Vrindavan, that is proving that Shri Krishna is both the embodiment of Sakhya and Hasya. So, Gopanam Swajanaha. Then Shri Krishna appears as in a sixth form. We have already talked about how Shri Krishna appears in 5 different forms. Now Shri Krishna still further expands into the 6th form, being the embodiment of the transcendental mellow of anger. That is known as Raudra Ras. Raudra Ras is one of the 7 secondary mellows. So this transcendental mellow of anger, how he appears as the embodiment of that has been explained by Shukdev Goswami. Asatam Kshiti Budam Shasta. Asatam Kshiti Budam Shasta. Those demonic kings who were illegitimately ruling over this earth planet, those kings like Jarasandha, Shishupal, Dantavakra, etc., those demoniac kings possessing the demoniac mentality who were ruling illegitimately over this earth planet and who are considered the burden of this earth planet, they have perceived Shri Krishna as their ruler and as their chastiser, as their punishment giver. So, that proves that Shri Krishna has made himself appear in a very angry form. Krishna has made himself appear personified form of anger, transcendental mellow of anger, that is the Raudra Ras. And because of seeing Shri Krishna full of anger, these demoniac kings possessing the demoniac mentality, these miscreants who were assembled there, they have become afraid and they have become subdued just by the mere presence of Shri Krishna in the arena. So that proves that Shri Krishna is the transcendental, is the embodiment of the transcendental mellow of anger personified, the Bhayanak Ras personified, the Raudra Ras personified. Asatam Kshiti Bhujam Shasta, and then Swapitroho Shishuhu. Still in a 7th expanded form, Shri Krishna appears as the embodiment and as the personification of the transcendental mellow of parental affection and as the transcendental mellow of compassion. The mellow of compassion is known as Karuna Ras. And Karuna Ras is one of the 7 secondary mellows, whereas the transcendental mellow of parental affection, which is known as Vatsalya Ras, is one of the 5 primary. So by appearing in front of Nand Maharaj, in front of Upananda, the younger brother of Nand Maharaj, in front of Sunanda, another younger brother of Nand Maharaj, and in front of other elders, other elderly cowherd men, who had come along with Nand Maharaj to visit and to participate and to behold the scenario of the Kansa's wrestling arena. Those elderly members of Nand Maharaj's dynasty, those elderly cowherd men, they have seen Shri Krishna as a small baby, 3 months of age. Shishu means as a small baby of 3 months of age. So they have not seen Shri Krishna rather as a 16-year-old adolescent, but they have seen Shri Krishna as a baby of 3 months of age. In his Shishu Rupa, in his baby form, they have been able to envision Shri Krishna's personality. So that proves that Shri Krishna is both the personification of Vatsalya Ras, he is the embodiment of the mellow of parental affection, and also he is the embodiment of the mellow of compassion, Karuna Ras. Now one can question how Shri Krishna, it is very easily understandable how Shri Krishna can be considered the personification of the mellow of parental affection. But it is not easily understandable how Shri Krishna can be considered the embodiment of the mellow of compassion or Karuna Rasa by this example. That has also been explained. Shri Krishna is also the personification of the mellow of compassion. How? When a child comes in front of his parents or comes in front of his elders or other guardians, at that time, the parental affection, whether it be maternal type of or paternal type of, doesn't matter. The parental affection arises in the heart of the guardians and in the hearts of the foster and biological parents of that child. But as a side result of the awakening of parental affection, another mood and sentiment also arises in the heart of the guardians of that child. And what is that mood? That mood is the mood of compassion. When a small child is perceived by his parents or by his guardians or by his other elders, at that time, in the heart of those elders, very soft and tender mood of compassion and mercy arises for that dependent child. So, that mood of compassion is herein known as Karuna Ras. That transcendental mellow of compassion and mercy and munificence is known herein as Karuna Ras. So Shri Krishna, when he has made himself appear as a small child in front of Maharaj Nanda and the other elderly people of the cowherd dynasty of Vrindavan, he has simultaneously revealed his personification of the parental affection and his personification of the mellow of compassion. And now Shri Krishna still appears in another form, Mrityur Bhoja Pate, in front of Kansa. Kansa has perceived Shri Krishna in which way? Kansa has seen Shri Krishna as the personified form of death approaching him gradually, step by step. Kansa has seen Shri Krishna coming to his proximity and his vicinity gradually, and he has seen Shri Krishna as the personified form of death, which is Yamraj. So Mrityur Bhojapate. So because Kansa has become afraid by seeing the personified form of death approaching him, that is why it is considered that Shri Krishna, when he reveals himself as the personified form of death, he simultaneously proves that he is the personification and embodiment of the transcendental mellow of fear. That is the Bhayanak Ras, that is one of these 7 secondary mellows. Mrityur Bhojapate hai Virad Vidusham. And still Shri Krishna expands in 11th form. Shri Krishna expands in 11th form, in the 10th form, in front of those ignorant people who had assembled there and who had no knowledge of scriptures. Those ignorant people, that is, meaning that the Shudra class of people, the 4th class of men who had also assembled in that arena and who had absolutely no knowledge about the scriptures, the Shastriya Gyan. those people, they have seen Shri Krishna as the personified form of the universal form. They have seen Shri Krishna present as universal form, as the Virat Roop, the same Virat Roop or the same universal form that was seen by Arjun in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and that was seen by Mother Yashoda in the early part of Krishna's pastimes in Gokul Mahavan, and that was seen by Bhishma Dev, by Dronacharya, and by Vidur when Shri Krishna has went to the assembly, to the court of Kauravas, when he has presented himself as the messenger of the Pandavas, and when he has tried to find out some type of midway solution to the upcoming war, the Mahabharat war. At that time, Shri Krishna has also showed and he has revealed his universal form in front of the Dronacharya, in front of Vidur, and in front of Bhishma Dev. So that same form that Shri Krishna had exposed in the court of Kauravas, that same form that Shri Krishna had exposed in front of Mother Yashoda, and that same universal form that Shri Krishna had revealed in front of Arjun, in the same form, Shri Krishna is seen. In the same universal form, Shri Krishna is perceived by the ignorant men who had assembled there. So what is this trying to prove? This is trying to prove that Shri Krishna, by appearing as universal form, by appearing as this universal form, he is personifying the transcendental mellow of ghastliness, or the transcendental mellow of disgust. That means the Vibhatsa Ras. That is one of the 7 secondary mellows. Now, one can have a question. How Shri Krishna can be considered personifying this transcendental mellow of disgust and ghastliness? By showing his universal form. Now, what has happened to Arjun? After that, Arjuna has beholded the transcendental universal form of Shri Krishna. In the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, what has happened to Arjun? Arjun now no more wants to envision this universal form of Shri Krishna because he has become very much afraid and disgusted by seeing this universal form. That is why he prays in the 11th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita to Shri Krishna, and he says, O personality of Godhead Shri Krishna, Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Shashwatam Divyam Adi Devam Ajam Vibhum, Ahastvam Rashayah Sarve Devrashir Naradas Tatha Asito Devalo Vyasah Swayam Chaiva Pravishime. Arjuna says that enough of this universal form, I have become disgusted by seeing it, I have also become afraid by seeing it, and I now no more desire and wish to see this universal form because I have become disgusted by it. So, the universal form of the Lord, when Shri Krishna reveals himself in the universal form, that means that Shri Krishna is the personified deity of the transcendental mellow of disgust and ghastliness, which is Vibhatsa Ras, which is one of the 7 secondary mellows. And then Shri Krishna has transformed himself simultaneously into 11th form as the personified form of Shantaras, that is the passive and inactive state of devotion. Tattvam Param Yoginam. In front of the Paramatmavadis, in front of the Ashtanga Yogis, or those following the eightfold yoga process, the mystical yoga process, in front of those yogis who had assembled there in that arena, Shri Krishna has simultaneously appeared in the 11th form, personifying the transcendental mellow of Shantaras, or the inactive passive state of devotion. Vrishninam Paradevateti Vidito. And yet in another form, that is the last and final form, Shri Krishna has transformed himself as being the personified deity of the transcendental mellow of servitude, which is the active state of devotion and which is known as Dasya Ras. In front of the Vrishnis, in front of the Yadavas, or the Yadu dynasty, in front of the Yadu dynasty and the Vrishni dynasty who were assembled there, Shri Krishna has appeared as their worshipable deity. And what was the worshipable deity of the Yadus? Many Yadavas, many Yaduvanshis, many fellow members of the Yadu dynasty had assembled there, like Akrur, Uddhav, Satyaki, Kritvarma, etc. And all these members of Yadu dynasty, they have rather seen Shri Krishna not in an adolescent form of a cowherd boy, but rather they have seen Shri Krishna as their worshipable deity, whom they are adoring with great awe, respect and veneration every day in their houses in the morning time. All the fellow members of the Yadu dynasty, they were worshipping the deity form of the four-handed Lord Narayana in the very beginning part of their day, in the morning times in their houses. In the house of each member of Yadu dynasty was present on the altar the transcendental deity form of Lord Narayana in a four-handed form. So that same four-handed Narayana form, whom these Yaduvanshis, these members of the Yadu dynasty were worshipping every day in their houses in the morning time, that Shri Krishna has made himself appear in the same Chaturbhuj Narayana Roop, in the same four-handed Vishnu or Narayana form as the worshipable deity of these Vrishnivanshis and Yaduvanshis. So by this, Shri Krishna is trying to prove that he is also the personified form of the transcendental mellow of servitude or dasyaras. Because the members of the fellow folks and the members of Yadu dynasty, they were imbued with the mood of servitude, with the dasya bhav, and then they were serving that transcendental four-handed deity of Lord Narayan. So when Shri Krishna makes himself appear as Chaturbhuj Narayan Roop, at that time he's trying to prove that I am also the transcendental personification of the mellow of Dasyarati or the mellow of servitude. In this way, appearing in these 12 different ways, appearing in these 12-fold diverse ways, Shri Krishna has entered the arena of Kansa along with his elder brother Balram. So this shlok of Srimad Bhagavatam, of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, is very solidly and very transparently proving, without any scope of suspicion and doubt, it is very directly proving that Shri Krishna is the personified form of all the transcendental 12 types of mellows and relationships existing within the spiritual phenomena, and that is why Shri Krishna has been designated in the very beginning of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by Srila Rupa Goswami as the personified form of all these mellows, as Akhila Rasamrita Murtihi. Thus ends the lucid explanation on the first phrase of the first verse of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And now anyone from the audience, if they have questions or comments or inquiries, they can put forth their inquiries, and we will try to summarize the session within 2 more minutes. Yes.
Prabhu, do you have any value system in the form do and don't pertaining to our life in this world?
Yes. Bhagavad Bhakti, Krishna Bhakti, the pure devotional service unto Lord Shri Krishna, which is again 12-fold due to these 12 different mellows existing within that devotional service. That devotional service is the sole way which can emancipate and which can liberate conditioned living entities who are bound within the shackles of illusion in this material world. And that devotional service is solely capable and powerful to uplift and deliver the living entities of this material world, and to put them and to establish them in their original position as being the servitors of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, wherein upon reaching that destination, or upon reaching that transcendental destination, all the living entities, they will be able to experience and enjoy the transcendent and most exalted form of bliss. So that is the only way, devotional service. Shri Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktyamam avijanati yavan yaschasmi tatvatah tato mam tatvatah gyatva vishati tadanantaram. Only through devotional service can the living entities of this world can go back to Godhead, back to Shri Krishna's transcendental planet known as Golok Vrindavan, and thereby they can enjoy a transcendental blissful life which will never cease to exist. Yes. Okay?
When Yogamaya
Yes.
makes Mother Yashoda forget that Krishna is God,
Yes.
does Yogamaya also makes Krishna forget that he is God, or is Krishna aware? He's still aware, even though he's playing as a child. Is he still aware?
Shri Krishna is not aware that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Neither is Yashoda aware that Shri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Both of them are forgetful of their identity. And this is done by the enchanting charms of Yog Maya potency, which is the predominating deity of the Samvit Shakti that we discussed yesterday. The Samvit Shakti, the potency of all cognizance existing in the transcendental world, that potency of all cognizance transforms itself into Yogamaya. And then this Yogamaya is able to captivate both the minds of the associates of Shri Krishna and the mind of Shri Krishna himself. And thus the Yogamaya is able to make both Shri Krishna and his associates forget their mutual real identities. And this is done just in order to create more variegatedness into the pastimes of Shri Krishna. In order to make the pastimes of Shri Krishna more relishable and full of variety, Yogamaya makes both Shri Krishna and his associates forget their identity. That is done.
Yes.
How can we say that Krishna forgets his identity at this universal absolute power? When in that same scene, he showed Mother Yasoda in his mouth all the universes.
Actually, what has happened is this pastime of showing the universal form doesn't happen in the unmanifest Leela, in the Apragat Leela. It only happens in the Pragat Leela. There are two types of pastimes of Shri Krishna. First is known as unmanifest pastime, known as Apragat Leela, and the second is known as manifest pastime or Pragat Leela. So when Shri Krishna comes down on this earthly planet at the end of Dwapar, and when he stays on this earth for 125 years, at that time, during that Pragat Leela, during that manifest pastime, only he shows his universal form to Yashoda. But in the eternal pastimes of Shri Krishna, which are always going on, which are continuous and perpetual, which are completely eternal, this pastime of showing universal form never occurs. Now, when Shri Krishna descends to this mundane platform at the end of Dwapar to show his manifest pastime or Pragat Leela, at that time, Kshirodakshayi Vishnu, Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, Karanadakshayi Vishnu, and Narayana of Vaikunt, all of these other expansions and incarnations of Krishna, they merge into Shri Krishna's personality. And that is why our acharyas, like Srila Jiva Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, while commenting on Bhagavatam, they have proposed and they have rather concluded on the firm basis of Shastra that whenever and wherever in the Vrindavan pastimes and in the Dwarka and Mathura pastimes has Krishna killed these demons like Kansa, Shishupal, Dantavakra, Keshi, Putana, Bakasur, Agasur, etc. Whenever and wherever Shri Krishna has killed the demons in his manifest pastimes, that act, that task of killing the demons has rather been done by the indwelling form of Kshirodakshayi Vishnu, which has merged itself into the form of Shri Krishna. So, the different incarnations and expansions of Shri Krishna, like Ramachandra, Narayan, Varaha, Matsya, Narsingha, Kurma, and all the three types of Vishnus, they all merge into the divine form of Shri Krishna when Shri Krishna manifests his Pragat Leela. So, this task of killing demons, this task also doesn't happen. This pastime of killing demons also doesn't occur in the unmanifest eternal pastimes of Krishna going on forever. This task of killing demons only happens during the manifest pastimes of Shri Krishna at the end of Dwapar. That is why Shri Krishna of Vrindavan, who is Swayam Bhagavan, he has nothing to do directly with the killing of these demons. Rather, the indwelling Karanadakshayi and Kshirodakshayi Vishnus, they are the one who are performing this task of killing demons. So, this task of showing universal form also has been done by the indwelling forms of Narayan and Mahavishnu. Actually, it is Mahavishnu who has exposed himself in a universal form, because Mahavishnu is resting within the body of Shri Krishna. So, and in the Garg Samhita compiled by Gargacharya, who is the disciple of Vyasadeva and who is the son of Brahma. In that Garg Samhita, Gargacharya has made it very clear how all the different expansions and incarnations of Krishna, like Narayan, Vishnu, Ram, etc., they merge themselves when Krishna manifests his Pragat Leela. So, according to our acharyas, the final conclusion is that even the pastime when Krishna has showed his universal form is not the pastime directly performed by the Shri Krishna of Vrindavan, but it is the pastime performed by the Mahavishnu residing within that Shri Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu ki, the nectar of devotion evening class ki, Srila Rupa Goswami ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Nidai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol.